Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Bauer. I'm a psychologist and I'm going to talk to you today about self-care. Now, you've heard self-care a lot these days on the internet and from friends, family, coworkers. And a lot of the times what it comes to mean is things that you want to do when you need a break. So self-care might be going to the salon or going to get your nails done, things like that. But it's actually a lot more than that. So I'm just going to take a few minutes today to talk to you about the broader aspects of self-care. All right. So self-care is what we do to take care of our physical selves, our emotional selves, our spiritual selves. And what I want all you guys to do, this is just one way of thinking about it, is to think about a pie chart. Think about what's best for you personally for self-care. The internet and friends and family, again, can tell you what they think is important, but really it's different for all of us, and so we have to find our own ideas. So I just made a pie chart to talk to you a little bit, just as a way to talk to you about my own self-care. All right, so this is my pie chart. I don't know if you can see it the way I'm recording, but I'll explain it. The biggest part of my pie chart is exercise. And I will say, regardless of whether you enjoy exercise or not, it is one of the most important parts of self-care because it touches on so many different needs. Okay, so exercise we know is good for our body. So for me, exercise helps take care of my labs. It helps keep my blood sugar, my A1C, my cholesterol, all of that in check. Okay, additionally, exercise is actually the only time during the day that many of us get to ourselves. That might not always be the case, but for me it is, lucky me. So I get up early and I know that that hour and a half is just my time doing things for me. I can think about what I want to think about and take care of my own body. Okay? Exercise, you may also know, is a great mood booster. So there's some studies that show that it's just as good as some medications for things like depression and anxiety. That's not to say that there isn't room for medications. A lot of people need both, need to exercise, take medications, go to therapy, run away from home. No, just kidding. But anyway, so exercise is the biggest part of my pie chart. Mainly, it gives me the biggest bang for my buck. Okay, next I have family time. I love my family and I need my family, so that's my next bit of pie chart. I'm fortunate to live with all my family members, my husband and my children, so we get to spend a lot of time doing fun things together and then ordinary things too, obviously, because this is real life. Okay, next I have reading. Reading is my escape. All right, so we all have ways in which we escape and we just need to take our mind off of things. That's what I do. Okay, and then I have my friends section too. My friends are very important to me. I wish that it always meant that I was visiting my friends, but it doesn't. Usually means texting to check in, occasionally Zooming to check in, and even more occasionally these days getting together with them. Okay, so that's my self-care pie chart that I just whipped up. All right, this is a different one. Self-care is completely different for this person. Instead of that big old exercise section, this is actually spiritual pursuits. A lot of people need that in their life. It's a huge part of their life for a variety of reasons. It might be how they grew up. It might be keeping them on the straight and narrow in terms of substance or alcohol abuse. For whatever reason, for this person that I just made up, spiritual pursuits is a huge part of their life. Now that could include things like going to church, being a part of church, yoga, anything like that. Okay, for the next one, nutritional planning for this person. You guys have seen it. It's very popular now. There's a million different methods to help keep us on track nutritionally. All right, so for a lot of people, they like to manage that very closely. That helps them. Okay, so meal prep, documenting what they eat. So that's a big part of this person's life. Journaling also, all right, so they can write down their thoughts and it helps them process things. And then one of my favorite parts, we think about self-care and this a lot, is beautification. A lot of people really need to put time into their physical selves as a part of their self-care. I think we all do it to some extent, but to this person, that might be a very important part of who they are and feeling put together. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean hair or nails or waxing, tanning, things like that. Okay, so those are just some examples of self-care. Everyone is different. All right, just a few minutes left here. I just want to talk to you a little bit about, those are things we do for self-care, but self-care also involves about how we think about things. Okay, so I have my cheat sheet here because I think about this less often, but what are some self-help things or self-care things that we can do, like asking for help? If we are overwhelmed and there are people around us who are willing to help, ask for the help. It's okay. If they're there to help us, they offer, take them up on it. Learning to say no. You hear about this a lot too. There's some things we need to say no to maintain our sanity. Okay. Things like that. And hobbies, pursuing our hobbies. I touched on that a little bit, but very important to keep part of ourselves. Okay. Most importantly here, what I had written down is, really try to figure out what matters most to you and not necessarily be influenced by things you read or see that don't really pertain to you. If there's an idea about self-care that you think about and say, that doesn't really play into my life, that's okay. We all have our own version, and it's just important to take care of yourself and what you think is most important. Okay, so that was just a little clip on self-care. I hope you can all put some of that into your weekly and daily lives. I know we're all extremely busy, so you might say to yourself, I can't think of, more than an hour a day that I can get for self-care. And, that's what you have to work with. In that case, you might have to pick what the most important thing is to you or the most important thing is that day. Just one quick example. If, let's say today it's Sunday and I really want to spend time with my parents today, I may have to go do that and leave my laundry and everything else just waiting to be done at some other time. All right, so thank you very much, and I hope this was somewhat useful to you. Take care of yourself.